Good morning, it's Johnny D. I'm broadcasting you live from Jacksonville, Florida, on the east coast of the USA, and I wish to say good morning to the whole east coast and the central time zone. I include Chicago, Memphis, Nashville, Atlanta, all the big cities in Texas. I'm sure you should be awake by now. It's 8:20 here, and it only could be in the central part of our United States, so it should be 7:20. Not too early. We'll give time for the people in the mountains territory in the western part of the United States time to wake up. However, you other people in the central time zone and the eastern coast, and perhaps anybody early enough to wake up further west of here, please enter, tell me what it says on your model, on your license plate for your car. Like mine state is a Sunshine State. Wisconsin, the Dairyland State. Illinois, where I spend most of my life, is called the land of Lincoln. Was that a simple request or not? Just interesting. Oh, you think I should just look it up on Google and not bother you nice people? Once again, I do not understand why live streaming is so important to you. Do you have to hear my words even after the song and have it play back? A week later, you get to see all the comments. Is that what turns you on? Because I listened to my voice, my singing, the music on it, and I thought it was terrible. How can you people like it so much? I don't understand. And it's so confusing, making my cheap-ass computer here do that live streaming stuff. You'd be surprised. My wife was trying to help it yesterday. It's going to take a long time to learn that, folks, and I don't see the purpose. I don't understand how you could listen to that terrible music that comes over that live streaming. Is my wife doing something wrong? We tried to adjust the microphone. I like that microphone. It's attached to my karaoke player. My wife bought me a long time ago. The only thing it works on now is the mic and the echo. And it goes through my Samsung big TV set, and that's where my voice is coming from. The rest of the music, background singers, whatever, it comes from the computer. Little cheap $120 speakers. This is only a $300 microphone I'm using. It's called Shure, S-H-U-R-E, for you folks interested. But I was seeing on the internet, some of those $20 microphones work just as much as good as a $115,000 microphone. So I don't understand how can you be so nice to me and donations and stuff like that when my voice, my singing, sounds terrible to my ears? Is it my computer is all screwed up? Sure, I enjoy donations. I get a lot more donations from you people on live streaming, but I don't think I'm doing the world any justice. If you're hearing the music the same way I'm hearing it, it's terrible. Maybe my wife needs to do some more work on this computer, or probably it's too cheap to be doing live streaming. It's only a $400 computer. I'm sure it costs a few more dollars nowadays. It's about 2 or 3 years old. And it's been stripped from memory and everything. And that's why my wife was able to, before we had it worked on at Best Buy, she had made a recording on a $48 device of most of my music from the last 2010 to now music. At the time, I scanned me back in, was it January 2018, when I got scanned. Of course, I had 60 songs he didn't touch, and I wasn't stored in the main part of the computer. It was stored where it was easy to get at. Those were still there. But all those other songs, my wife didn't even tell me that she had made that recording before my computer got stripped of all its memory when they worked on it at Best Buy. Either way, whether they didn't work on it and I bought a new one, I would have lost all that music. I didn't know she taped all that. At the time, she was studying to be education in doctors. She already had her bachelor's degree, master's degree, and she ran out of money for working on the doctor's degree. Do you know where we're from? In Lake County, Illinois, where I lived most of my life. I spent 10 years up in Wisconsin. It was only 7 miles from the border. Did you know she was going to school there when I was secondary? And I think my battery needs charging again. The battery came on. Anyway, she was taking some courses in the College of Lake County. And our county's not as big as Cook County, but it still has a lot of people. A lot of people from Chicago come up here to Lake County to settle in and get more country life than the biggest busy city of Chicago. It used to be one time in the United States the second largest city. Now I think it's the third largest city of population. Anyway, to get a nurse's degree at the College of Lake County, there's only 100 openings. 100. But there's 10,000 applicants. So they have their choice who they're going to pick for a nurse for next year. And what are they going to do? The most smartest woman they can find, or man, the smartest. My wife missed by 1 point or so. She got only a 96, 97, I forgot, on the test. But those are the top people, 98, 99, 100%. They got it. What the heck? They have a choice. They have 100 openings and 10,000 applications. You do the work. You figure the odds. Anyway, she ran out of money last year and she decided to help me. She had time on her hands. I didn't know she made those recordings. Eventually, she got around to YouTube and got us to give me practically my whole station back. I think they missed a few songs when I first started. Way back in 2009, I was on MySpace, I think they call it, SPACE, on the internet. And of course I was on SyncSnap, which costs over $100 a year to be a member. But I spent a lot of money on golf. $1,000 for my clubs, green fees, maybe a drink at the bar afterwards. Golf is not cheap either. Sometimes it's more expensive. But sports and singing is two different things, people. Why should I compare it? I'm just telling you, it's not cheap to do what I do. but it's my hobby. Maybe I spend a little bit more money on it than it's a golf course. With these $1,000 computers that sell nowadays, I think my wife, her computer is much better than mine. It's twice as expensive. I'm using a camera that I bought for $120. And you want me to use that, just that? It's got a microphone in there, and it's got the video that you see of me. The video wasn't that bad for that $120 camera. Both my camcorders are shot. You're watching me today on my iPhone 10. That's where you're seeing my vision from. And it's awesome. It's very fast. Sending that music to YouTube. They do a good job. Because we have the best internet service you can get. And there's other expenses. Besides the computer, you need good speakers. You need some kind of karaoke machine that's going to take care of your microphone and any adjustments to echo you want to make. I don't know what my wife paid for it many years ago, but that's the only thing left that works on it. And nowadays, who needs it? Get free music, karaoke music. YouTube for free. Isn't that nice of them? But there's a thing called a copywriter. I don't care, the song could be 100 years old. If it's got a copyright on it, those copyrights, I could deny you even 1 penny for doing your performance on YouTube, no matter how good you are. The only way you're going to get any money at all from anything is your donations, what you two put on there about a year ago to help music creators like me, myself, living on a budget. I'm on Social Security, maybe get a tiny bit of pension, but that's it. And my wife, when I met her in 2007 on the internet dating site, all she was, of course we live close to Chicago, 35 miles from Chicago, the north side, and the real rich people live in the northernmost part of the city, and then there's Evanston, and then there's Lake Forest, Winnetka, and one of the richest city towns in Illinois. They all live there. Very good, wealthy widows that my wife was in daycare. And when she goes to work, she has to go for 3 or 4 days at a time. That's 24 hours a day, people, not 8 hours. And take care of old people, not dead enough for the cemetery, but sick enough to need a full-time nurse at their home. She's my wife with no nurse. She's just a daycare worker. And those places are extremely expensive. But they're widows of rich men, CEOs, stuff like that from Chicago. And that's where most of them live. Just, south of me, at least 10, 15 miles. I drove her to work to take care of some of these rich widows that can hire a woman to take care of her in their old years. And they have a lot of work to do, keeping the house clean and helping that poor widow with all her millions of dollars inside the bank account take care of themselves till it's time for them to go. What a job, what a miserable job, having to find a new person to work with after they pass away. But that's what people have to do for a living, folks. And that's all my wife did. How do you expect her to make any money at all doing stuff like that? And the hours are terrible. We just got married and we're supposed to have been 3 or 4 days away from each other so she could do her job. Now she's a school teacher, and then she complained so much about driving back and forth to work for the school she liked. It's too bad we couldn't afford a house in the first place in Jacksonville. And it's just like in any other city. There's really good parts, but they cost a lot of money, people. You know that. There's a good part of the city, and there's a bad part. We live in the sort of the bad part for schools. It didn't bother me any. The only teaching I did was on my job, helping young men like myself, all races, including Mexicans, black people, who you think I'm so terrible because I say N-word in those songs. That N-word is just lyrics, people, lyrics. I was not spoken in regular talking to my wife when I'm by myself and get mad at something. I do not say the N-word. Do you understand? It's just lyrics. It's nothing else to me. Don't accuse me of being a racist or having needing the N-word passed. It's just music lyrics. Most of the black people love my singing in karaoke bars. They buy more drinks than the white people do, or the Mexicans. They buy more. They love mine. They're not worried about the N-word. Why should you be? Don't give me no comments like that with my rap god, just because Eminem likes to use the N-word a lot in his music. It's just music to him too. And believe me, I know maybe someone as good to you as Eminem does. And don't forget, he's got a thing called a bank account with lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of money in there. And same way with that song that I had 700,000 views on, Lil Paul. You say I'm better than he is? How come his bank account is 100 times what I got? They were all laughing to the bank people while you're telling me how good I am and everything. But you're too cheap to spend $1 for a donation. I don't understand the world. I never will. I don't understand it now. I don't know why you think it's such a big deal because I put an N-word in my songs. It's no big deal to me. I want to be just like the artists making millions of dollars on their music. It's just lyrics, nothing else. No racist intentions involved. I love black people. I think they're just as good as us. And don't forget, I'm from the north. I don't like to say my ancestors, but the people up the north here, we died for you in the Civil War to give you your freedom. Because the Southern people, all they were after was money. They wanted slaves to work on their farms and workers to keep their house clean. My family was not like that. We never had a slave. In fact, my grandmother on my mom's side, I think she came over in the middle of the 70s. That's after the Civil War, people. But no connection. Do I have any connection to being a slave owner? No way. My ancestors all live in Europe, which most of my broadcast goes to in the morning, because I like to sing in the morning. Later on in the day, I just don't like to sing as much. Of course, I do, except when I go to karaoke, but most places around here, I'm sure most places around Chicago too, where I have very good fans up there in Chicago, close to my daughter's house, way on the west side of Chicago, in Bridgetown. My daughter lives in a common town, but she only maybe a couple miles away from the arbor trees, the tree national park of the Midwest, the whole Midwest. That covers a big area. She lives in that town where that's where people go that love trees, arbor, some section. There's very beautiful trees in my daughter's neighborhood city of Lisle. That's spelled L-I-S-L-E. It's pronounced Lisle. And it's a town about 20 miles west of Chicago. West of the United Center, where my employer used to give us tickets once a year to go see a Bulls game or a hockey game in the United Center. Most people around Chicago know what I'm talking about, If you ever visit Chicago, you might want to go there too. Of course, we have a football team, the Bears. They haven't won a Super Bowl since '85. That was, 35 years ago. And the Cubs, they never got anywhere for 100 years. And one day I left, my doctors told me to move south because I would catch pneumonia so much. And to see if I can cut down those hospital visits for pneumonia. And they tell a lot of people my age to move south. Well, the weather is warm, January here in Florida, it's just absolutely perfect for me. It never even got close to 30 degrees freezing early parts of the morning. Never. I think the worst it got was in the upper 40s this year, and a lot of days are in the 70s. I sat out on the porch. I had to use a chair. They won't allow me to keep a chair out here. I drag it in and out of the house. Sit down and enjoy the beautiful weather here. I'm sure many of you people envy me for that. But you do have to put up with some heat in the summertime here. Of course, everybody's got heat pumps down here. Electricity is not too bad, it's affordable. We didn't even have air conditioning in my mom's house until I was like 20 years old before I moved out. Then they finally could afford to put air conditioning in their homes like most other people did. That was up north, just for the months of May, June, July, August, September, parts of September, parts of May, a lot in August. Heat and humidity, woo. The air comes from not from Lake Michigan, but from the Gulf Stream, the Gulf of Mexico, down below the southern states. It blows up that way. That's where all that humidity comes from, not like the big Lake Michigan that we're right next to. Anyway, I'm gonna do a song today by Andy Williams. Most of you older people would probably only remember him, like Perry Como, and some other old people used to sing on TV. And it's done, I already did Summer Place, but not by Andy Williams. So, and this is on my Sing Stamp, so it makes it real easy to bring it to you off the internet anyway. And if you want to be a singer, it's a good thing to have the Sing Stamp. And don't forget, you can do a duet. There's a lot of duet songs that are popular. But any woman in the world who did it really good from her living room, and you from your living room or your bedroom, what like me, can sing and do a duet together. You can't do that in YouTube, people. Once again, I don't understand why my music sounds so terrible on the live streaming, and I much do wonder why you would rather donate money to me and my wife for that when the music is so terrible. I don't understand. Is it because my computer's cheap? It's not a $1,000 computer. Who knows? I think my grandson is leaving for school. This apartment, and other people put up with me, my music here, but you can really hear it almost as clear as day, as there is no wall or no window right by the front street. And I have to live on the bottom floor because what if the elevator went out and the electricity went out or something? How would I get downstairs with being able to run out of breath? I might drop dead. Well, we choose to live on the first floor. This is only a 2-story building. Across from me, there's a 3-story building. Imagine walking out 1 or 2 flights of stairs when you got COPD. It's a struggle, people. A very hard time for people my age and my sickness to get around. But they haven't kicked me out of this apartment yet or asked me to leave. So I just do maybe 4 or 5 songs a day, most of the time only 3. So whatever. The last place we lived way on the west side of, even out of Duval County here, way on the west side, 25 miles west of here, inland. Those people hated me when I moved in there. I think they gave me, we had a good apartment with the 4-bedroom one. That was like $1,500 a month. Then we needed 4 bedrooms and decided to move into a 2-bedroom apartment. We saved $300 or $400. But the thing wasn't insulated very good for sound, I guess. And I must have been disturbing somebody's peace and quiet in that apartment, but not the first one we lived in, but the 4-bedroom. I asked the neighbors around there, can you hear my singing? Can you hear too much music? And they said, no, don't hear a damn thing. But it wasn't the situation. The next apartment was one of the only 2 bedrooms. Same place, 4 stories up. My wife thought we better live way upstairs. And we used the elevator, of course. But what if we ran out of electricity? You gotta walk there, people. Sure, at least you can walk downstairs, trying to get out of there. Anyway, that's why we're in the first story. I asked her, I'm worried about running out of electricity, and my lung machine produces oxygen from the air that we breathe and concentrates a little bit more and gives us a chance to live a few more months before we drop dead. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. I used to be able to walk around the grocery store with a car, of course, holding me up. But I walked. I didn't need no electric scooters to sit on. And going to Walmart, there's so many people going to those stores, it's almost practically impossible to get a riding cart. One time I went there and waited 2 hours for a cart to show up. Other people are using them. They only have a few in Walmart. They only have a few cashier girls working there, and they only have a few carts available for handicapped people like me. I'm forced to go to expensive grocery stores like Publix. Much better food and cheap. Cheese is 10 times better than Walmart cheese. And I live close to Wisconsin. I know what good cheese is supposed to taste like. And a Walmart, it just doesn't compare. Sure, you can save 10, 20 bucks a week over there shopping. But I can't go there anymore. I can't walk around the store. I'm too old for that. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I have to order my food. Most a section of food comes from looking at it straight in the aisles as you go down them carts. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be rough. Then you have to pay for delivery to your house. Anyway, don't forget people that live in the United States. And our country puts their models on their license plates. In Florida, here we're only allowed to have plates in the back. I almost got my car towed away because I forgot about the sticker. You have to go to the DMV around here and get your sticker. You use the internet, they never heard of me. I use the internet for plenty of things, pay my bills and everything. But I tried over and over again, so to my wife, who's almost got 9 years of college, we couldn't get through to those people on the internet. They never heard of me. I don't know why I had that 100. And I thought maybe I was doing something. And my wife tried it over and over again. We didn't get anywhere. We had to drive over to Mandarin city that's close by here and go to DMV there. Otherwise, they put a warning sticker on my back window saying, we're gonna tow your car tomorrow at your expense. What's good? You got $200 to pay for that? On a Social Security? With all my medical expenses? You're crazy. If I didn't go down there and get that sticker, of course it wasn't cheap, but they wanted 60, 70 hours for it. In Florida, you pay a lot of money when you first move here, but it's much cheaper in Illinois. Illinois, they went to $100 a year for that sticker. It's just a plain old paper sticker. But that's where they get their tax money from. In Florida, they don't do that. It was only, it's usually upper 30s for a sticker after you get by the first year. First year, you pay a lot of money, but then it's cheap. But get old like me and forget about stuff like that, especially all the moving we did around my wife to drive a few less minutes to get to work. That's why we're not even living in the house. I spent the last night on it. She rents it out to some friends of hers and her son, so we can get something for all my hard-earned savings all gone into that house. Retirement is tough on some people. All my old friends don't have to worry about that. They're 6 feet under. I don't have any friends. All I got is you people. Anyway, I do like to sing early in the morning. There's nothing better to do. Right now my house is empty. My wife is at work. I mean, there's a substitute teaching job. A substitute teacher doesn't have any benefits. You people, please try to tell her on her channel to get a full-time job. You need benefits. What could happen if she got sick? There's no more paychecks coming in. And the hospitals here in the United States, they're 10 times more expensive than the Philippines. I know I got sick in the Philippines. I couldn't breathe your dirty air down there, people. I had to go to the hospital. I had 6 doctors and nurses waiting on me for 7 to 8 hours. My bill was only around $300. It would have been like $5,000 here to pay for our expensive doctors and nurses. My insurance gladly paid them. I didn't get a bill at all. But still, your air is the most terrible air I ever breathed in the whole world. Of course, I've only been to 2 countries. My parents, from my dad's side, are from Italy, the grandparents. We visit their town. They're long dead. They didn't come over this country until 1905. My grandmother, and I knew her, she spoke to me, and my grandmother on my mom's side. She spoke to me, but she only knew Polish, the one on my mom's side, and on the Italian side, my grandmother spoke Italian to me. I never got to see my grandfather. I was only 3 years old. Back when I remember stuff, maybe they came visit me. Before that, I wouldn't even remember. I don't remember very much when I was under 3 years old. My granddads were gone. I was lucky to have one little picture a long time ago. I forgot what they looked like now. Because not many people were going around with cell phones and taking pictures all day long. There was no such thing as a telephone taking pictures. And I don't think that many people had cameras either back in the early 1900s when the Wright brothers developed their first airplane that stayed afloat for a little short time. Well, anyway, I'm gonna do a song by Andy Williams, "The Summer Place," and I believe that was a beautiful song that came out in the early 60s, right after I got out of high school. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Thank you for listening to me and keeping me company. I appreciate having nice parents like you, the best in the world. But too kind to keep remembering, do not use the G word, which is, I think, is 10 times worse than the N word that you people complain about. Do not use the G word here. The G and D-A-M-N. You know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, you should go back to church. This world's not going to last forever. We'll destroy ourselves one of these days. Don't forget what God said and told Jesus. The end of the world would die by fire. That would be fire from the H-bomb. I don't want to scare you people, but think about it. Do not use the G word here. Goodbye. There's a summer place where it may rain or storm, yet I'm safe and warm. For within that summer place, your arms reach out to me, and my heart is free from all care, for it knows there are no gloomy skies when seen through the eyes of those who are blessed with love and the sweet secret of a summer place. Is this the one where when two people share all their hopes, all their dreams, all their love? And the sweet secret of a summer place is that it's anywhere when two people share all their hopes, all their dreams, all their love.